Oh.
Okay, let's do this. Can I bring my judges on screen, please? Get a bit of a dance going.
Yeah.
All right, let's do this. Okay, I would like to officially, while this challenge is being hosted virtually and all over the world, the Hacker Exchange team is located mainly in Melbourne, which is the Wurundjeri country of the Kulin Nations. And I would like to begin by acknowledging and paying my respects to the Wurundjeri people, the traditional custodians of the land on which we work, live and play. I would also like to, on behalf of Hacker Exchange, pay my respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging, and acknowledging all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders here today, also paying my respects to your elders, past, present, and emerging. So, let's do this. Why are you here? You're here looking at us today to celebrate the achievements of the HEX5.2 group. They have had quite a week with us here at the Hacker Exchange. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about the Hacker Exchange. We bridge the gap between traditional education and the rapid changes in tech and work through immersive entrepreneurial programs. That is a photo of us based out of Singapore. We are usually running all around the world in Tel Aviv and Singapore and San Francisco and Melbourne and a whole lot of other places that we've got on the books for the post-COVID world as soon as we're able to get back out there. At the moment, we are doing virtual programming. We will continue to do virtual programming because it's such an amazing way of bringing together people from all around the world. So we have been running a sprint, which is a immersive virtual program over the last 6 days with an amazing group of people. And we've been partnering with some of these universities that you can see on the screen, as well as numerous others from across the world. We are Hacker Exchange. Please get in touch. Love to chat to you if you want to speak to us and find out more. All right, but we are here to celebrate the HEX 5.2 crew. What a week! We started the beginning of the week, Sunday for the time in the US, and Monday here, where we met each other for the first time. We have gone through ideation. We've looked at teams. We've set some goals. We've done rapid prototyping. We've heard from industry speakers from Google and Zendesk and Amazon and some of the world's leading tech companies. We have gone through all sorts of different workshops and speakers, and we have now come to this point where the group in teams are ready to pitch their startup that they have ready for you today. So here's a couple of fun photos from one of our no-code, low-code workshops, as well as some of our other activities as well. But it's been an absolutely huge week for everyone here today. I would now officially like to welcome our amazing judges. I'm going to hand over to each one of you just to give a very quick introduction and say what you might be looking for while you're our judges here today. First of all, I would like to introduce the wonderful Tony Sinclair, if you want to give a little bit of a wave. So Tony is a new friend at Hacker Exchange. He's an entrepreneur, impact investor, and a startup advisor. He has a passion for using impact dollars to get positive outcomes for people and the planet. Tony, what will you be looking for out of our pitches today?
Yeah, hi, Jack. Thanks very much for the introduction. Great to be here. I think what I'm most interested to hear is the customer friction point. How deep is that friction point and how much validation teams might have done, because that's the path to creating an investable business.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay, we also have another face on the line that you might recognize. This is our CEO and co-founder of the Hacker Exchange. She's an award-winning technology and business leader. She's here to tell you a little bit about what she might be looking for from the HEX 5.2 crew. Jeanette, what will you be looking for?
Oh, well, it's such a surprise to be here, Jack. And it's really nice to see everyone in the audience. Guys, I know you've been working really hard. I was up late with a few of you checking out some of your pitch decks. So I'm very excited to see what you've come up with. I'm particularly curious to see how successful you were with your validation in this short period of time. And I'm very curious to see how you work together as a team. So I'll be looking for that kind of team cohesion and also sort of that shared vision. But just before you even start, just a big congratulations for making it through what has been an epic week. And thanks, Jack.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jeanette. We also have on the line all the way from the States. I believe he's currently in the Bay Area. We will try and get his camera working so that we can see you and see some of the reactions that you have to these pitches. Oh, there you are. Fantastic.
Be a troll.
Just in time. So I would like to welcome Michael Fox to the judging panel. He's the founding partner of Corporate Wiser Ventures. He's a thought leader in the corporate venture community. He's an investor. He's an entrepreneur, amongst a whole lot of other things, but he's here to tell you what he'll be looking for out of the pitches for the next hour. Michael.
First of all, I miss you guys. You coming back to Silicon Valley, it's a tough pill to swallow. I'm actually looking to see how you guys are going to address the post-COVID world in terms of risk mitigation approach and agility. It's democratized many things that didn't change before. So I'm curious to see how you guys have tried to integrate that into your thought process.
Fantastic.
We miss you too, Michael. We very much enjoyed working with you over in SF. And as soon as those borders reopen and that vaccine is in our arms, we will be right back with you. Promise that for sure.
I'll probably see you over there before I see you over here.
I've heard.
Fantastic. No, I think we're all looking forward to those borders opening up. I think everyone on the line here has a bit of a global mindset and is looking forward to seeing our friends in other countries. All right, but more importantly, we are here to hear from the 5.2 crew ready to pitch their amazing ideas. It's been a huge week. I would like to welcome to the stage our very first pitch for the day. Can I have Selco to the stage, please? Selco. So what's going to happen here is each of the teams are going to be promoted to the stage. They're going to share their screen, and then they have a 5-minute pitch. Just before we hand over to Selco, I just want to double check. Jeanette, you have your judging sheet in front of you. Yep. Tony, you've got your judging sheet. And Michael, you've got the Excel spreadsheet judging sheet.
I do. I'll have to pull it up, but sorry, I spaced. Could you send
No,
it to me?
that's okay. That's why I'm double checking. I can shoot that through to you in a link now, just to make sure that we capture all of the notes and feedback for the group as much as possible.
I'm happy to go digital. So.
Okay, excellent. All right, and I believe the judging sheet. Oh.
I have a question. Is there a limited window of time for the questions and answers afterwards, or?
Absolutely. So it's a 5-minute pitch. I will be giving a warning when there is 30 seconds left, so that you know you've got 30 seconds to go. There will be 3 to 5 minutes of questions, and I will be timing that. So I will cut you off once we hit 5 minutes of questions. That's it. We will then demote you back down to attendees, and you'll be able to watch and relax and enjoy the rest of the pitches, knowing full well that you've already gone and absolutely smashed it. So 5-minute pitch, 3 to 5 minute of questions.
Super.
Okay. All right. Well, if we're all good to go, I will stop my screen share. There we go. And I will allow for one of the Selco team to share their screen. Okay, very good. All right, now I'll get a thumbs up from Tony, thumbs up from Jeanette, thumbs up from Michael. Excellent. Zelda, Connie, good to go? That's it. Your time starts now. Over to you, Selco.
Hi everyone, today Connie and I will be presenting our new nutrition platform that we've called Forage. I am wary of time, so I have gone ahead and highlighted the true statement, which is that anyone can call themselves a nutritionist. This is quite a well-known problem within the dietetics community, and here's some things that the dietitians had to say about misleading information on the internet. Some of them included confusing to the public, misleading, dangerous, and devalues what it is to be a dietitian. We also got some insights from the public, and it was really good to see that a lot of people were interested about nutrition. They found it quite difficult to find nutrition answers online. A lot of people using Google and Friends for nutrition information, despite knowing that dietitians were one of the most trustworthy sources of nutrition information. And this highlighted a gap that not many people were sure how to actually access dietitians. And that brings us to our first customer segment, which is the New Zealand public. As I said earlier, nutrition support seems to be quite inaccessible for many reasons. But in addition to this, there's an increasing prevalence of preventable health conditions such as obesity, heart disease, and type 2 diabetes that can be prevented if dietitians had the funding and resources to intervene earlier. Our second customer segment are our dietitians. They battle with nutrition misinformation on the internet, not enough jobs for our graduates, and like I said earlier, being generally inaccessible.
Our mission is to develop a platform to connect the New Zealand population with registered dietitians. Our goal in doing so is to create a verified nutrition info platform for the public, reduce the burden on the healthcare system in New Zealand, and create more jobs for registered dietitians. Our solution is to create a mobile app that we would like to call Forage that gives nutrition advice from experts to the public. Overall, our app is aiming to provide reliable information from registered dietitians to support its users in looking for ways to better their health. Our 3 main components include a forum, personalized support, and verified dietitians. In our forum component, this is where users have access to unlimited free access to ask questions and view questions that others have been asking in their areas of interest. In the personalized support section, this is an opportunity for people to pay and connect with specialists for extra support to further benefit their health needs.
The third component allows dietitians to pay a subscription to be verified. This verified status allows them to answer questions on the forum, run consults and get a commission, as well as connecting with other dietitians.
Our market opportunity has key assets that our app would be a source of reliable information from registered dietitians, accessible information where you can access anytime, anywhere, and a proactive source of information so people can limit their future health hardships. Our market validation, in our market entry, we are at a first mover advantage since we have few competitors for this wellness app. This would allow growth potential, and the competitors that do exist and pertain to our app market highlight a gap of what we could succeed and bring to the market. Some adjacent markets that we've acknowledged are popular fitness and wellness apps like Noom, MyFitnessPal, and BetterHelp. These offer similar things to what we hope to put on the market, but help close the gap where nutrition lacks in these apps.
30 seconds.
Sorry. Moving on to some numbers, we can see that there's a steady growth in the number of practicing dietitians in New Zealand. If we take 2020, for example, there are around 750 practicing dietitians. We also did some market research and we were able to identify that quite a large proportion were actually interested in a platform like Forage. There was at least half willing to pay for a subscription fee, and putting all these numbers together gave us an estimate of around 70,000 per year for our dietitian subscriptions.
A second stream of revenue would come from our users. With the numbers that we have, we estimate to have an 11 million revenue from paying users for the app, as they would purchase a $50 consult package once per year. Our timeline, 9 months out, hoping to have 5,000 users, 15 dietitians, 18 months out, doubling these numbers, 2.5 years out, aiming to have 30% of the millennial population in New Zealand with 150 dietitians.
5 minutes.
Thank you.
All right, well done. First off the rank, well done, Zelda. Well done, Connie. Just before we get into the question times, I do want to give a heads up to the next team. The next team coming on board will be UniHealth. So if you want to prepare yourselves, UniHealth, that would be great. Now we do have some questions, I'm sure, for Zelda and Connie. Who would like to go first? Tony, Jeanette, Michael? Michael, over to you.
So I think what you guys are doing is it really admirable. You just met this week, is that right? A week ago? Or just started on this, is that right?
Yeah, I met Zelda Sunday in the States, would have been Monday for her in New Zealand.
Just trying to get context. I'd be curious to hear how you guys are going to try to address the credibility issue. What establishes a credible source for content? Because there's a lot of conflict out there in the space.
Yeah. Did you mean what establishes credible information like on the internet, or what we'll be classifying on our app?
The internet thinks everything's established. That's an echo chamber. No, I mean on your app. How do you establish that one source is credible over another?
Yep. So we're planning on having like a question and answer forum. And the dietitians with the verified status are the only ones that are able to answer questions. It allows for discussions between dietitians, and they're the credible source because they've had the qualifications. With the market research, we have found that people do actually value people that have qualifications, amongst other things. But there will be like a vetting process where we identify dietitians and that they have the actual qualifications for it. And especially for students as well, for the verified tick, they'll still have the verified tick, but there'll be something a little bit different that shows that they're students and those answers are coming from not experienced dietitians, but still practiced and learned dietitians, if that makes sense.
I don't want to be a hog. You guys, anybody else want to? I think I have 5 other questions, but I don't want to take it all.
That's all right. Well, why don't we head to one of the other judges, and if we still have time, we'll come back for another one. Jeanette, do you have a question for Selco?
Well done, Connie and Zelda, for going first. It's always a tough spot to be. A great presentation. I love your prototype. Question I had was, I wasn't so clear on how urgent this problem is. How hard is it going to be to convince that first 5,000 people that this is something that they desperately need to get onto, or is it something that people kind of have in the back of their minds and they'll get to their health at some point? So can you talk me through, how a customer might identify that it's a problem enough that they'll choose your app?
Yeah, I think one avenue we're hoping to go down is to first advertise it towards people that are already proactive about their health, developing a customer base for users that might use other similar fitness and wellness apps. And then once we have those people, by word of mouth, by Instagram posts, by all good things social media, the word will get out and encourage others if they see people that are willing to take the chance, that already take the chances with fitness apps. And Zelda, I don't know if you want to add anything to that.
Yeah, if I can add something, especially with the dietetics community, not much is really being done for them and us. And like we did some marketing research, and it was evident that, you know, a lot of people recognize that people don't really know what dietitians are, and someone needs to speak up for them, and that we can't really solve the problem of, you know, underfunding and under-resourced if no one knows what we do or what the value of what we do is. So I think it's just a matter of also working on the customer side of things, like Connie said, but also finally actually doing something for our dietitians to get that to propel forward.
It's like an industry body piece. Okay,
Yeah.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Okay, we have time for one final quick question. Tony, do you have a question?
Yeah, sure. Look, thanks, Connie, Zelda. Great presentation. I'm just jumping off Jeanette's point really, which is, what is the underlying problem? On slide 7, you mentioned, you acknowledged there are going to be multi-factor conditions such as diabetes and that sort of thing. And my question is about your strategic fundamentals, why you would choose to go really broad rather than make an app specifically for someone with diabetes or bulimia or weight loss, etc. I'm just curious, what was that thought process?
I guess there was a lot of factors to be considered, and I guess one of our goals was to help improve health outcomes for all of New Zealand. And so that's, I guess, why we kind of went with the general sort of model and going for everyone. But not only do we provide general questions and answers for people that want, you know, just how to lose weight or maybe even recipes on the forum, but if people want more specialized support, they can filter out and choose a dietitian that maybe specializes in type 1 diabetes and insulin or eating disorders. And they have that option if they want to, that it's there to seek out personalized support and pay extra for that sort of component, if that makes sense.
Okay, if I could just do like a 10-second comment to finish, Jackie. What you'll find is that as you go down that funnel, you'll find that information that's free on the internet, people just aren't going to pay for it. For example, recipes. It's okay to have free content, but you're not going to be able to charge people until you offer that specialized thing for a particular niche. That's just a general comment.
Oh, if I could just butt in as well. So for the forum part, that actually is all general questions where it's free and open access to everyone. People have to pay extra to get that specialized support.
So it's a freemium model then? Is that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we have definitely hit our 5 minutes of questions. So well done. I know it's always hard to go first, but what a team you guys have been all the way from the States. I don't know what time it is for you, Connie, at the moment, but I'm sure it's pretty late. And Zelda over in New Zealand as well. So congratulations. You're all done. If you want to stop sharing your screen now, head back into attendees and well done. We're going to give the judges just a few seconds to finalize any comments.
Thank you to the judges as well.
That will be it.
Jack.
Thank you, judges.
Thank you. Okay. Now we will be bringing the next team up, but we'll just give the judges a couple of minutes to get their comments. Great work. Good job. Oh, the chat's absolutely loving you. Well done. Well done, everyone. Oh, I'm getting a lot of love on the chat here.
Good to go, Jack.
All right. Yep. We'll get a thumbs up from the judges. And I do want to give Matt, who's in the background, just a minute to bring the next people up. All right, I can see we do have the next team starting to enter the chat. We have Ray, I believe you'll be sharing screen.
Yes.
Wonderful. Thank you, Ray.
Although I can't open up my webcam because the
Yes.
host has stopped it. Okay, that's okay.
We will be making you a co-host in just a second. I believe, Ricardo,
Yes.
you're now co-host. You should be able
Yes.
to turn your camera
Hello.
on. Hi, Ricardo. How you doing?
Really good. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming to listen to us today.
Well, you know, as if I wouldn't, Ricardo. But everyone else, thank you for being here. Shabham, nice to see you. Okay. Now we'll just, 1 second. Okay, we have Shabham, we have Ricardo, and we have Ray. Wonderful. Okay, well, if we're all ready to go, we will start on the next one. Ray, if you want to present, that looks good to me, and I'll be starting the clock in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Thank you very much once again for coming to listen to our idea. Essentially, the service that we would like to propose to you today is called UniHealth. And if you go to the next slide, please. So we are the founders of this startup. Myself, Ricardo, Ray, and Shubham will talk you through our idea, and we will tell you how it could make a positive difference. Next slide, please. So essentially, I would like to ask you a question to start off with. Can you remember what vaccines you got when you were 5? How about what vaccines you got when you were 12, 18? And what medical prescriptions did you get when you were 20? If you could answer, we would be very surprised. Next slide, please. So the problems that we are trying to address, it's actually 3 problems. One is the fact that there is no centralized medical health record system. The second one is the fact that the existing medical data keeping system is disjointed. So that means if I were to go to a different city, there will be no ways for the GPs there to access our medical records. And so that means that navigating through the healthcare system in a foreign country will be quite tricky. Next slide, please. As such, the solution is an app where we can keep all of our medical information stored in one place. That would save a lot of time for people, and often time means money. And as a result of one of our surveys, we found that privacy is a major concern if we were to offer a similar product. And so we would offer a state-of-the-art blockchain technology as part of this product. Next slide, please. There are reasons to believe that this is an industry that will continuously grow. Next slide, please. So since 2015, the amount of venture capital flowing into digital healthcare record systems has tripled. And so this will continue to be the tendency after 2020 and even in light of COVID-19. So I will now pass it on to Shubham, who will talk through the different features of our app.
Thanks, Ed, for the great stats and introducing UniHealth. Scanning of records, storing them digitally, all sounds too futuristic and demanding, right? But I'm here to tell you it's as easy as tapping a credit card in codes. Let me start by telling a short story. Mr. Johnson is a small businessman in Melbourne and loves to travel. And while on a vacation in Sydney, he fell sick. On going to the hospital, he has to go through all the primary health checkups and ended up spending 1 day of his trip and $1,000. Now imagine, what if UniHealth was there? On the day he went to hospital, he could have easily scanned his QR code to share his past medical history and would have saved a day of trip and also $1,000. Next slide, please. Now I will just quickly show you how one can scan a record and store in UniHealth. You can just start by downloading the app and scan the record. Next slide, please. You can start by scanning by placing the record in the camera and the app will do the rest. Next slide, please. You can easily share the record by scanning the QR code at a hospital, at a GP, or even at a pharmacy. Next slide, please. Now, that's not all about UniHealth. It's not just about storing the medical records. There are a lot of more features that makes UniHealth unique. You can translate your records from one language to another, so you can get the right treatment within whatever country you are in. All your records are privacy. But first, you can enable or disable access to any GP, any hospital at any point of time. You can find the nearest GPs and hospitals as well. You can get the latest information on the health industry as well. Next slide, please. All your records can be easily shared using a QR code, and all your records are stored on a blockchain-based decentralized storage, making it as secure as an end-to-end user. There's an emergency feature in the app as well. You can add your emergency contacts, which can give access to your records in your behalf. Now we'll pass it over to Ray to give more on future aspects.
Okay, so our target audience is threefold. The first are general practitioners who will be our initial source of implementation, frequent travelers overseas and nationally, and GP patients. We have three viable revenue streams. The first are the doctors and hospitals who will partner with UniHealth by forming a yearly contract in order to use the service. The second is to gain government supporting in terms of funding and legitimacy in hopes of implementing a system similar to our own My Health Record, which is our government's attempt at a centralized data record system. And thirdly, for people who own the app, to pay a premium when it is used outside of the country. These are our costs for the first year. We believe that development and maintenance will cost 50,000. Blockchain will cost 30,000, and marketing will cost 5,000 for a total of 85,000. This is our roadmap for the next 4 years. If we were to begin development right now, at the current moment, we believe we could present the MVP by the fourth quarter of this year. We would then spend the next 2 years developing a working relationship with the Australian government and healthcare organizations and implement the first major field test in 2020 in the Beijing Winter Olympics in order to gauge real-world viability as well as conducting international market research. The aim is for the app to be ready by 2024 Paris Summer Olympics. And we use these two Olympic events as benchmarks because we believe during both times, there'll be a large flow of international travelers. Are there any questions?
You just got it in there at the end, and I was a little bit generous with an extra 10 seconds. Lucky I got distracted for some of it.
Too generous, Jack.
I am always generous. I get in trouble from the team when it comes to timing. But what questions do we have from the panel? Michael, I see your hand.
Well, this is I have some familiarity with. By the way, you guys did a great job. And I really do think you kicked the hornet's nest. I'm not quite sure it's exactly where it needs to be, but there's a quagmire of many issues that you need to overcome. But fundamentally, I think what you're doing is very compelling. You talked about different regions, but it's also going to be localized to different countries because the policy and protocol is very different across different borders. And I don't think people, having just sprained my ankle in Wuhan giving a keynote, a little familiarity with cross-border medical issues. But the issue also has to do not just with security, but integrity. A lot of doctors, they don't, if their group didn't perform the service, they don't necessarily trust it, or they're ambiguous about the historical validation. And so there's going to be an issue. If you're going to be importing the data, do they determine your course of action based on what you put in? I'd be interested to hear how you guys want to resolve that. But you also would have to localize it to different cultures as well. I think there's something there. So, my humble 2 cents. Have you thought about different cultures? I think you brought up the issue of immunization, for example. I don't think it's important about what happened back when in the Stone Age when I was younger, but to have a current record that you could travel with, that would be very compelling. That has independent authors, people see as credible.
Yeah, that's a good point. Rick, Ray, Shabam, do you want to talk a little bit about how you're addressing different cultures as part of the app? And also, while I do have the floor for a second, I should probably let the next group know AndHeat will be up next, AndHeat. But back over to you, Rick, Ray, Shabam, how are you going to address different cultures as part of this?
Well, the translation feature that we thought to put in the language was precisely developed to address that intercultural communication gap that might take place when an individual travels to a different country and needs to navigate through the foreign healthcare system. The way it would work, it would essentially work in a way where you can see your information in your native language and when you happen to be overseas in your own mobile device. And then the doctors at the hospital where you would happen to be would see the information that you need in their own language. It would kind of be with a ride-sharing app where, for example, if you happen to travel overseas and you need to use a ride-sharing app, your information is in your language, and then the drivers for it or the ride-sharing personnel would see the information about what you need in their own language. So to address that issue of intercultural communication, this is what we have thought for now, but we are able to change it as best as it is, if it benefits.
Great, thanks, Rick. Jeanette, question.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, thanks for dressing up, guys. I really appreciate the team shirt game and incredible prototype. You guys spent a lot of time putting that together. I can definitely tell. I might have missed this, but I didn't quite catch how much market research you've done with actual like customer users or like patients. Did you get a chance to speak to real patients about their view on sort of using an app like this? And if so, what were some of the key insights?
Yeah, Shubham, would you like to talk through it, or Ray?
Yeah, I mean, we launched a marketing campaign. We launched a survey, and we targeted segment of the age range of 19 to 30 first. So because we are students, we have a lot of contacts like the teachers and students. So we first actually reached out to them, like, what if there's a solution like this where they can store all these records? Would they use it? And would they be willing to pay for a system? We asked them all these questions, and 63% of them actually agreed to use the system. They wanted to use the system, and then there were around 30% of the audience that actually they wanted to use the system, and then there were privacy concerns, or they were worried about how the data would be stored. Is it hackable? Like, they were worried about, like, what if someone knows my information, hacks into your system? So privacy, and obviously these concerns were the security and privacy were the main points. But yeah, like majority of the audience actually agreed to use a product like this. They were health conscious. Even though they weren't, they were more like, I want to see my records. Like, I want to have access to my records. Like, I don't remember when I went to a GP last year, what did he give me? I don't remember it. But it would be easy to see, like, here, okay, yeah, I went there, I got this medication. That was the response we got from them. Yeah.
Right. So it sounds like you got some great insights from speaking to students and uni staff around. So thank you so much for being here. We are at time. So if you want to head back down to the attendee group, I know that we've got people running around in the background ready to promote AndHeat up. AndHeat will be the next group. So well done. You're done. You can relax now. You can change back into a t-shirt or keep the shirt on. You've done an amazing job, and we'll give the judges just a couple of minutes to make sure that they're ready to go for the next group. All right. Well done, Rick. Well done, Ray. Well done, Chen.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, judges.
Jack, I can't actually show my video because it's the host has stopped.
No problem, Melindy. You will be able to in just a second. We're just going to promote you to co-host. And then you'll be able to share your video and share your screen. So there you are. Oh. Wonderful. Nice to see you. It will not take too long. Poor Matt's in the background here going as fast as he can. It's very much like the keyboard cat, just going crazy back there, trying to make sure everyone's in the right place at the right time. But it's good because it gives our judges the ability to head down into their spreadsheet and write all of the notes that we can hand you later. So 1 second. All right, you're getting a lot of love on the chat. And just to let everyone know, this will be the last group before oh no, there's one more group after this before a short break. So there's AndHeat, and then there's the next group. And then there will be a short break after that. So if you do need to grab a glass of water, a coffee, a glass of wine, whatever you want, whatever time of day it is for you. We have people dialing in from all over the world at the moment. So whatever works for you, we hope that you're enjoying watching. And just to reiterate, this group not only met for the first time a week ago, but no one has met each other in person. So every single thing here has been coordinated online via different time zones in different countries. So we're really, really happy and love everything that's been put together in such a short period of time. Okay, now, if the judges are ready to go, Jeanette, yep, Michael, yep, Tony, thumbs up. Okay, Melindy and Ruba.
Alrighty, Ruba will share the screen.
Fantastic. Okay, well, I will start timing.
Ready?
Perfect. And 5 minutes, over to you, and go.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to AndHeat. So first and foremost, I will introduce ourselves. I'm Melindy Kodikara, co-founder, and joining me today is Ruba. Ruba?
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Alrighty, next slide. So our company solves problems with a social purpose at the heart of our core. So we are a social enterprise that supports children, as 1 in 5 children go to school hungry. So first and foremost, let us take you out to dinner. Now imagine that you are at this high-end restaurant with Ruba and me as well, of course, and you are enjoying this delicious meal. And after you're done, the bill arrives and crickets, because nobody actually wants to grab that bill. Because Ruba, how much is the bill exactly?
It's $300. I can't believe we spent $300. Wow.
I think I got like shivers. Holy crap. That's a lot of money, right? So how are we going to do this exactly? Are you going to pay, we transfer, or I don't
have any cash with me. So how about I pick up the bill and you guys can just transfer the money across?
Oh, you know what? That's such a hassle. Oh my God. You know what? I actually heard about this app called AndHeat. Maybe you should check that out. Wait, let me show you.
AndHeat. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah, I know. It's like this top tier thing that's going around these days. All right. So first up, we're gonna split the bill equally, I'm assuming.
Yeah, let's just do equal. It's easier.
Yeah, cool. Add me and Jeanette, Tony, and Mike.
And Jack. Oh, cool.
Yeah, proceed. All right. I'm gonna yeah. Give me the receipt. I'll scan it. Scan. Cool. Yes. Dun 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 dun. Awesome. So since we actually have that ability to split the bill individually, but I'm assuming we're gonna just split it equally amongst us because it's easy, like quick.
Yeah, let's just do that. That's faster.
Ruba, could you check if you got a notification from me?
Yeah, it came through. Oh my God, it even splits taxes and tips. That's awesome. I love it.
No, like, dude, it's machine learning. They've thought it through. Boom, we're done. Holy shit, that was fast. Awesome.
Cool. What is our problem?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, our main problem that we're going to discuss today is splitting bills between friends being an absolute pain. And most importantly, children going to school hungry, which is also pretty icky and is also a pain. Next. So our solution is a cross-platform mobile application where users can easily scan a receipt, split the money, and pay the restaurant then and there instantly and automatically. It's convenient, it's secure, and the interface is super simple. And now Ruba will talk you through our market research.
Hi, everybody. So our market research, so we actually ran a survey, and what we found, testing our product and asking questions around our product, we found 95% of our questionnaire that responded to our questionnaire said that AndHeat solved a problem. We looked at the current research that's out there, and at the moment we are in a cashless society and tend to probably post-pandemic in Australia, as we've all started to open up a little bit and gone back into lockdown for some areas, we decline use of cash in the restaurant industry. We also did some research and found 1 in 3 millennials like to use online solutions to track their finances, more so the older. So our market that we want to play in is in the millennial market. They make 44% of the workforce, and 1 in every $3 is spent by the millennials. And even more importantly, they are the #1 consumer in the dining industry. So they spend about $2.2 billion a year just on ordering out or going to restaurants. What we also found in our research is 77% of people will choose an organisation with a social purpose, regardless of generation. So that's across the board, and are happy to pay for it. So there are competitors out there. The differentiator for us is that we have a social purpose and we are easy to use. You can split, we have taxes. So we've demoed enough of the product. So we'll keep going through. Cool, thank you. Our financial model is how we're going to make money. We are going to charge 1.2% per consumer. Banks charge 1.5% to the restaurant, and that's how we're financially modeling. Next steps for us, we're looking for some mentorships, connections to the payment field, and support raising funds for our pilot study that we're going to do with RMIT. Thank you, that's us.
Yes, and yeet.
All right, and Yeet, the energy in the room. Oh, I wish I was channeling this energy right now. I think, Melanie, I want you to be the MC at all of my moving forward. Now, do we have questions for And Yeet?
I always, but by the way, you guys have tremendous energy. That was really wonderful. And drawing you in through your story arc was great. I didn't get the connection between. I understand it's a socially responsible initiative, but I don't understand where it connects to the children.
Okay.
You
question?
may.
Do you want to answer that one?
Yeah,
Sure.
Ruba, do you want to jump in here?
Yeah, sure. So what we wanted to do, we are about food and dining out. And so we want to connect our users to children with food and not being able to afford food while you're going out to so that's how the connection is. So the connection is 1 out of 5 Australian children go to school. They don't have breakfast or don't even have money to have lunch or dinner. And so we wanted to connect it to the food connection of millennials eating out.
Does a portion of it go to the children, or I mean, that's still not clear.
Yeah, so 25% of our profits go to the children's charity, and we've got a charity in mind that's called eatup.com.
Got it. Okay, that over.
We had a deck that was like 50 slides, and then we had to kind of like bring it back.
Oh, I'm absolutely sure there's a few slides that are around today that were unable to be used at the last minute. Do we have a question from Tony or Jeanette for And Yeet? Tony, over to you.
Yeah, sure. I suppose I'm just following from Michael's question. Just take it as a general comment, really. And it's like, why, if you care about that upstream problem, then why not solve that upstream problem?
I think because when we started, this is just journey of listening to our users. We started looking at the app, and you're welcome to jump in, Melindy, too. We started looking at the app, and we just wanted to contribute to society rather than just being money making. So we wanted to donate to charity, and then we linked it to students originally in the pilot study of launching a marketing campaign to make brand awareness and targeting students and millennials in universities. And then we thought, oh, wow, why don't we help all students in Australia? And there's a food shortage. So with poverty, and link it to that. So that's how we started off with it and got to the end.
Okay.
Right.
So just if I have 10 seconds, Jack, just for a final comment. When apps like Beam It and that sort of thing came to market and they looked at splitting bills, just be aware that only 1 in 10 people who say they will act in a certain way, act in that way, right?
Yeah.
There's a difference between stated and revealed preferences in data science. So just be aware of what is the most salient problem that you're solving for that particular customer segment, and don't assume that people will go to your app just because you're giving a percent of profits to charity.
Yeah, okay, good point.
I just want to add a little bit of context. I can't speak for Down Under, but in the US, they're looking now at over 100,000 restaurant closures, 8 million in job losses. That's 1 out of 6 restaurants is going to tank. So it's going to get really ugly over here, what it already is. But so I don't know. I think the app itself is a great idea, actually, and it's elegant and it's clean. I hear you guys have was it Zynga that just that didn't survive, the bank, the digital bank?
That's right. Yeah, Xinja.
Eric's company. Anyway, but I think it's a great idea, especially if you can localize it for different cultures, because you guys are very multicultural as well. So.
Absolutely. And I know that I would use it being stateside and being a bit confused when it comes to taxes and tipping and everything else. So fantastic idea, guys. Well done. We do have Aviva up next if you want to start coming to the stage, Aviva. But I'd just like to thank Melindy, Ruba. Well done.
Thank you, everyone.
Love the energy. Fantastic. If you want to head back down into attendees, we will be having a short break after Aviva. But I think at the moment, Debbie and Annie are coming to the stage. So I'll give the judges just a minute to make sure that all your final comments are in and all of your scores. And then we will head over to Aviva Technologies. So well done, Melindy. Well done, Ruba. Excellent. All right, and we've got lots of people watching too. Maybe some people that are coming in our next APAC program will be having a sneak peek at what the expectation is. So it's good to see on the participants list. All right. And we see Debbie. Hi, Debbie. Nice to see you. And we see Annie. Fantastic. Nice to see you too. So this will be the last one before a short break. And I will ask either Debbie or Annie to share your screen, please. Excellent. And if we can get a thumbs up from the judges, Tony, Michael, Jeanette. Fantastic. All right, everyone's ready. Annie, Debbie, I will hand it over to you in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening to everyone from all over the world. Thank you for being here today. My name is Annie Chen, and I'm one of the co-founders of Viva Technologies. Today with me is my other co-founder, Deborah Fleischer. At this moment, I would like to ask everyone, what are the first 5 letters that came across your mind, which changed our lives completely for the past 12 months? For the sake of time, I would assume that everyone is going to tell me COVID. And I hope next year, this time, when I ask you this question, you are going to give me Aviva. So a lot of people died from the COVID, and we lost a lot of excellent and well-trained healthcare workers while they were guarding our lives. So now it's a time that we really need the future generation of healthcare workers to join the troop and help us battle this virus more than ever. But how can we train them well and keep them safe at the same time? Before digging into this, I would like to discuss why it's so important. Why us? Why Aviva? So Deborah and I have connections and experience in the healthcare sector. We understand what medical students are needing. We know how quality medical education can contribute to the global medical system. Also, we have knowledge and expertise to assist medical schools to transition in a new era of immersive learning. For example, we have the great Sarah Tan, ex-Googler, who is also expertise in this field, who are acting as one of the advisors. And we're in touch with the Emerging Media Lab here at UBC, which may become our future partner. And all over the world, and the user experience specialists all over the world, which will be our advisors and helping us building this system. So according to the interviews we conducted with the medical students and medical professors, and also the published info from the medical schools, we found that currently it's very unsafe to keep training people in the hospital because it poses significant bio risks to the students and the trainers. Also because the capacity of the hospitals are limited, so the training cannot be done in the timely manner. And also because of the social distancing rule in practice, even if the schools want to put the students on campus to do the training, they may have to run multiple rounds because the capacity is limited and it's increasing the cost for the schools. So what if we could solve this problem by providing a safe, efficient, and cost-effective practical training for medical students, which not only mitigates their health risk and reduce the increased training costs during a pandemic? We are utilizing the virtual reality technology to build up a system which not only addresses the current situation under COVID, but also envisioning the future by introducing quality borderless training standard for medical students, becoming carbon neutral by reducing in-person travels, and provide the medical students the global access to the healthcare professionals. So our Viva VR medical training is based on accredited curriculums by the regulatory bodies and the medical schools. After completing the training on the system, the students are expected to gain the same level of hands-on experience as being trained in person. These are the main features of our platform, and we do value the well-being of the students. So we have a timer that forces the students to take off their headset and have a break. It not only helps reduce the motion sickness, but also encourages the students to take a break. Now I'll pass it on to Deborah.
Thanks, Annie. So who are our customers? It's the medical schools, and we've chosen to focus on Australia, New Zealand, and North America. The main medical schools there are Medi, and they all have the same needs. They want to rationalise their costs and teach online, and they want to deliver their practical training, because without that, the medical students really don't get the quality that they need. So an example of one of these medical schools is Harvard Medical School, and they actually have an annual revenue of $800 million a year. They have approximately 1,000 students, and tuition per student is about $141,000 a year. So there's plenty of money swimming around in the medical space, medical training space. And the medical school's drivers are about regulation and accreditation, and being a quality education provider that provides education according to curriculum standards. And they need to succeed, so they need to provide competitive training that other schools will want and makes them competitive.
5 minutes.
So,
we're at 5 minutes. If you just want to go to your final slide.
Well, since we're in question time, maybe I'll ask you a little bit about your revenue model. Could you tell us a little bit about your revenue model?
Sure. So our revenue model is based on a software as a service and subscription fees based on a number of tiers per user group, and custom training fees for medical schools that want to create customised training for their school.
Okay. Are there any other questions?
Great presentation, and I think you've really identified, a genuine need. I suppose my question that I was hoping to hear, in the presentation was, how do you validate this idea with the medical schools in terms of bridging that gap between VR and the real world?
Do you want to answer that, Annie?
Sure. So what we're planning to do is that we are going to have the medical practitioners and the medical schools that are working with us, and we are also seeking the approval and the advice from the regulatory bodies to make sure that we're meeting all the criteria that they are requesting their students to meet. And that's, Deborah, can you bring back our ask slide? That's one of the asks that we are hoping to get from our investors or any angel investors or VCs to help us to introduce the network to us so we can bridge that gap. So far, we currently do have this kind of network, but we are expanding to the network globally. So we are hoping to seek the connections that outside our own geographic area. For example, I'm based in Canada and Deborah based in Australia, and we are hoping that we can get the connections other than these two areas.
So I just want to point out, first of all, what you're trying to do is very admirable. I think it's very timely as well. But you're absolutely right about the first responders. But you have to be very careful when you put information on the slide, because investors don't look to invest, they look for reasons not to. And as an MIT guy, when I see you put up MIT with a medical school, we don't have a medical school. So you got to be careful about sort of the broad brush approach. In addition, I wonder, from a context standpoint, how do you, if you're trying to do a VR complement to a curriculum, they still have to interface with people. So are they still in attendance? I guess I'm kind of confused. I see this potentially much more relevant, something like nursing, when they have to do obligatory, courses to complete and so on. They could do it in different places. But medical school, you see what I mean? I don't see it yet.
So, Annie, do you want to answer this?
Sure. So what we have seen that Oxford is actually having this for their own medical school. Okay. So they have a similar simulation platform. Queen's University in Canada has a similar platform that only for their own medical school students. So I do see the application being used in the field. And what we're seeing is that it's not only for the med students. I agree that it can be used in the nursing school or the training for medical technicians, even when the on-job training for the current healthcare practitioners. So we saw a wide potential and wide application on a lot of fields. And we just starting from med school because it's an educational institution, and the training for the med students are more basic and it's easier to model for our first step. But of course, we're definitely going to look into opportunities when we progress in the future.
Yeah, I think that your next step could possibly be, really defining a very particular hypothesis of this is one process we're going to test, model, and validate, and that would be a very cool thing to see in your next sort of iteration of this presentation, to show us exactly how you're going to take it into reality. But I agree with both Tony and Michael, a really prescient problem to solve, and definitely a big one that I think could have great impact.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that, we are at time. So well done, Debbie. Well done, Annie. Oh, it's done. And a very, very timely startup idea that you've got now. So we are going to have a very short intermission break, just 2 minutes to grab a glass of water, stand up, have a stretch, have a dance, use the bathroom, whatever you want to do, 2 minutes, and then we'll be back here ready to see the last 3 founding teams to pitch their ideas. So, okay, everyone, a quick 2-minute intermission break, and we'll see you all shortly. Judges, if you want to turn your cameras off, you're welcome to, just for the 2 minutes.
Tony?
Thanks, Jack. Very good.
I'm just going to pause the recording there, Jack. Do you need anything from us, or are you good?
No, all good. There we are.
Okay.
Okay, let's come on back now. Tony and Michael, whenever you're ready. Having a little chill out.
I don't know how much more Melbourne I can be with my cold brew. How's the weather in Sydney today, Tony? Welcome back, Michael.
Oh man, I'm a bad pinch turning up.
All
right.
Hey, let's come on back.
Means I gotta talk to you
first
like you.
up
Huh?
down. So 4 down, 3 to go. Well done to all of the amazing teams. For everyone that's joined us that perhaps didn't see us for the introduction, we're the Hacker Exchange. We're bridging the gap between education and startups and entrepreneurship around the world. We have here teams that have been formed who have never met in person, that have been formed across the world. We have teams with people in New Zealand and people in the US. We have people in Melbourne, with people in Perth. We have people all across the world that have come together. They have been working for 1 week. This is a 1-week sprint that we've put together with the Hacker Exchange this week. And they have managed to go all the way from ideation to pitching in 6 days time. So it's absolutely amazing. We're incredibly proud of all of the groups that we have here today. I would like to welcome our next group up to the stage. It will be Universe. Universe, if you'd like to come up to the stage, and we will start to get going shortly. In the meantime, any feedback from the judges so far? Michael, Jeanette, Tony?
I mean, these are usually 2-week programs, right? And we spend a lot more time with teams and with individuals. So this is literally a sprint. And the fact that you guys have chosen to do this on the first week of 2021, when, you know, let's all face it, we could have been using a break and been drinking sangrias on the rooftop. So I'm very, very proud and impressed with what you've achieved so far. Sorry, Mike, were you about to say something?
No, I'd just be interested in hearing how, Jeanette, you of all people, to compare and contrast what it's like virtually versus in person, how the differences are.
Mm.
You know?
Yeah, we've had the full year basically to figure out how to transform the in-person programs to virtual, and it's definitely been a challenge for us. My team and Jack and the whole crew is a little bit dizzy from all the pivots, but they're very fast on their feet, so couldn't be prouder. But I think, you know, as long as we have the right people in the room, Mike, like yourself, we are good. And check out this amazing branding. All right. Sorry, Jack, back to you.
Absolutely. I was loving seeing that branding come up to the screen here. It has been a huge year, but, you know, now 2021, what a way to start with forming a business within the first week of 2021. So we congratulate all of our HEX5.2 crew. But let's get going. I think if we're ready to go, we have Jing Lan on the line, Naomi, excellent, Kristen and Deborah. Okay, if you want to get going, I will start now. Thumbs up from the judges, Tony, Michael, Jeanette. Let's do it. Your 5 minutes starts now.
Hi everyone, we're Team Astro and our product is Universe. Let's talk about real student struggles right now. It's day 294 of online classes. You have 5 essays due next week, and for some reason, you just can't focus on your work. Can anyone else relate? Even if you try to study with your friends, research shows that studying with your friends, as opposed to non-friends, lowers your performance. On top of this, we have students new to university who struggle to make connections with classmates they haven't met face-to-face. The reality is, there is no virtual platform targeted to students, which creates opportunities for genuine face-to-face conversation. Altogether, we have struggling students with little to no social interaction, poor mental health, limited professional networks, and a higher dropout rate. This is where we come in. Our solution is an app which instantly pairs students and provides one-on-one timed study sessions through video call, allowing for better focus and understanding of course material. Science backs us up. Having another person present improves and increases performance of tasks. Students will be able to find a suitable study buddy through applying a filter where they can enter requirements like area of study. If the students enjoyed their session, they have the option to stay in contact with their study buddy, meaning they can maintain their networks. By studying with others frequently, students can create a wide network of other students whom they can keep in touch with, allowing for an organic growth of potential professional contacts.
Our target users are university students. From a recent survey we did, we found the majority struggled with working from home and reported they would sign up to the app. With the pandemic and remote learning becoming the new norm, as well as the projected number of students doubling in the next 20 years, now is the perfect time to launch Universe. In terms of direct competitors, FocusMate is aimed at pairing business professionals with an accountability partner for a set time and encourages little interaction and no networking, while MOOClab attempts to create a list of people looking for study buddies. While there are a number of apps dedicated to productivity, social networking, or video conferencing, there is no service which combines all three for students. Unlike FocusMate and MOOClab, sessions will be instantaneous with no need to book a session in advance. Further, as our user base grows, it will be easy to incorporate other services. Our app will require a large user base in order to function properly. Partnering with universities will solve this, and we are aiming to have stands at university fairs and recruit student ambassadors. For students at non-partnering universities, we will advertise on social media and make our app easily available on the Play and App stores.
We will have a freemium business model where free users will be limited to one study session per day and have ads. Meanwhile, the premium version will offer unlimited study sessions and additional features. Run on a subscription basis at $2 per month. Since students tend to be apprehensive about paying for apps, we plan to partner with universities because they have a vested interest in their students' well-being and academic success. Thus, we will offer them a bulk deal for the premium version of the app. This will benefit them as well as help us quickly increase our user base. For our first year, we will initially launch at the 3 universities our members attend because we have personal connections with the student body. With the discounted rate, we project to have a gross revenue of $1 million and a net profit of approximately $300,000. This is a growing market, so we expect the profits to dramatically increase as partnerships form. Our team is composed of Deborah, myself, Naomi, and Jinglong. We are a multidisciplinary team and all have a keen interest and passion for innovation and entrepreneurship, as evidenced by our very participation in this program. Most importantly, though, we all are currently students and have personally experienced the same issues that affect students most. With social distancing and remote learning being the new normal for the foreseeable future, we believe we have the opportunity to provide students with a possible solution, but we need your help. What we need are connections with tertiary education institutions so we can help expand our user base, a software developing team to help bring our app idea to fruition, and capital for further research and development. With your support, we can help students thrive at university and invest in our collective future. Any questions?
30 seconds. All right, coming in under time. Well done. The first team to really come in under time there. So that's awesome. Well done, Universe. Okay, I'm sure we definitely have some questions from the judging panel. Who would like to go first? Tony, I see you've unmuted yourself. Over to you.
Yeah, sure. Look, great presentations. Very, very articulate. I suppose the one thing I was hoping to hear was efficacy. That is specifically, is there data that says in the last 12 months with COVID, more people are failing, for example, and therefore this product will help people get better marks or will stop people failing. I didn't hear that. I think you made a leap from there is evidence that shows versus we found this from speaking to people ourselves. Could you talk a bit more about that?
I think for right now, the data would be too new. All we could find were articles about how the transitions hard for professors trying to keep on pace with their typical course material, and as well as students trying to transition to the remote learning environment. But there hasn't been a lot of evidence saying that like a productivity app would definitely improve their grades.
Okay, that's something to think about as you go forward.
Yeah.
And just to
I'm
jump in,
curious
I
to
know
see
a
the
lot
next
of
year.
Just to jump in a lot, I know a lot of universities have been marking less harshly as well. Even if the grades haven't changed, perhaps the quality of knowledge has.
Yeah, I think following on from Tony's point there, like just, you know, having a hypothesis in the team and actually a plan to sort of test that hypothesis in the real world would be an awesome next step. I would almost love to hear from you guys as well. How are you thinking about, you know, we know that uni students are notorious for trying something once and if it doesn't work perfectly, like, you know, never logging on again. How might you be able to test your theories without having to build a full app? Have you got some ideas about what the low code, no code, or the, you know, like a really early prototype or MVP might look like for yourselves?
Yeah, we do have already designed a prototype. So far, we would probably launch it out to our friends. I ran a survey just for, you know, one day, and I got over 110 responses saying they'd totally be down to try the app if I had it and if I just like sent it out to them right now. But just for time's sake, I was like, oh, it's theoretical. So hopefully that would resonate across a bunch of campuses if we were to expand.
Great, fantastic. Michael, did you have a question for the group? Oh, you're on mute.
Can't hear you, Mike.
My bad. User error. It's a question, observation, and a suggestion. Have you guys heard of a thing called Clubhouse?
No.
No?
I have not.
I don't know if it's hit down there yet. It's a new wave of communication, very organic, so people can airdrop it literally into a conversation. So, but looking at your initiative, I do think there's value there. I don't necessarily believe that it's going to be about just throwing random people together who may not be friends. But if you had additional domain reference material that was available to them, if they're looking at a particular domain or a particular course, that might be really relevant for them that they could all share. I don't yet see the sticky quotient, right? Not just so far. You made a premise, you know, as Tony was pointing out, that people who don't know each other study better together than people who do, because they get, I guess, get distracted, whatever. That's possible. But what's the sticky factor?
Well, that's something that I'm going to have to leave you to think about rather than get back to, because we are at time. So maybe your next, the next thing to look into is the sticky factor of your idea. So well done, Universe. Love the backgrounds as well. Now, I didn't mention, but I did put in the chat that the next up would be Savvy Me. So if Savvy Me wants to start coming to the stage, that would be wonderful. And well done again to Universe. We will send you back out into the groove. So we will give the judges just a minute to update everything. If you have any notes and scores, just a minute for the judges while we bring the next group up. Well done. You can relax now. Deep breath. Oh, good feeling, I bet. Okay.
How did the teams get picked, by the way?
Sorry, say that again, Michael.
How did the teams aggregate together? Was that done organically, or did you guys do it?
Yeah, so we actually had a look to see who was in what location. We wanted to make sure that people were corresponding with other people that had a diversity of academic background and also location as well. So we made sure that someone got to know someone overseas.
Okay.
Right. I do see that Savvy Me is sharing screen now. Everyone's coming in. I see Kritik. Hello. All dressed up, got your shirt on. Fantastic. And we'll just get going in just a moment. There's Emily. Hi, Emily. How are you?
Hi.
Okay. And I see we have Lydia coming to the stage. And we do see a very good looking holding slide, building a smarter generation. Okay, so I think we have everyone here. Thumbs up, Emily, Lydia, Critique. Wonderful, we're not missing any team members. All right, judges are good to go. Wonderful, let's do it. Okay, over to you, Savvy Me, in 3, 2, 1, go.
Hi, hello everyone. Before I start today's introduction, I'd like to put up a question to you. So do you still remember what kind of feeling it was when you just graduated from university? Think about it. For me, when I retrospect, it's a kind of mixture feeling of excitement and concern. Why concern? Because at that time, I need to think about how to crack interviews, got a secure, decent job, and also need to handle my financial issues. How could I get my first car and property? I think all these issues are quite challenging for new graduate students. And actually, there was a survey conducted by Deloitte. It shows that most of the new graduate students, they lack confidence and they are looking to business to help them to walk through this transitional period. And they would like to develop some soft skill. There is another statistics which is more sterling, which shows that the young adults have very low financial literacy. There are some big players in the market like Uni and Bark, which provide some financial consultancy, however, which are not really tailored for the students. So that is why we plan to start our business, Savvy Me. We would like to be the real saver for the graduates and to build a smarter generation. I would like to invite Purity to give a more detailed introduction about our business.
Thank you, Lydia. After talking to employees from huge corporates like Deutsche Bank and Bank of New York, we have identified the importance of having essential skills taught to the students in the schools, which is our USP, and haven't been addressed by any company before. This gives birth to Savvy Me. The idea is brought to life by my team, which has Emily, the technical manager, Lydia, the finance manager, and myself, Ritik, the director. Savvy Me wants to build a generation that is smarter even before it ventures out in the real world and is ready to tackle real world situations. We offer these key skills over the app. For the first phase, we'll be rolling out the most important skill, that is how to handle your finances. This includes topics which a working student should be educated about, like importance of budgeting, investments, and taxes. Emily will help you walk through the app to give you an understanding of the key aspects of the app.
Sweet, thank you, Ritik. So as we are building out our app, we spoke to over 20 university students and recent graduates, and we asked them exactly what they'd like to see on our application. And the most common response we got was just simplicity. So they wanted to break down those intimidating and complex financial concepts into a language that they could actually understand. And so we try to tackle this by having short and simple videos on a wide variety of financial concepts with a key emphasis on simplicity and ease of understanding. And as well as these videos, we'd like to supplement these with a bunch of webinars and workshops, and these would run by the team and also from third-party industry professionals. And this is a chance for users to really understand and get a deeper knowledge of how all these things work. And finally, we understand that everyone's situation is different. And sometimes a user is going to want to have more of a personalized advice given to them. And if that is the case, they're able to book a time with an expert on our platform, in which they may discuss any questions that they have on a one-to-one basis. So now I'll hand back to Ritik, and he's going to talk about our revenue streams.
Thank you, Emily. We have two major revenue streams. One is the webinars. The webinars will be hosted by us and the onboarded experts at a reasonable price. The industry experts or the organizations can also wish to host an event with our students, which would be taken as an advertising cost from those companies. The other revenue source is from the one-to-one mentorship sessions, which will have onboarded experts based on the students' preferences. and the price would be twice of what the experts ask for. I would like to hand over to Lygia to discuss the financial aspects of the company.
Okay, since we just started our business, so for the first year, we assume that the financial our income stream will mainly come from the financial consultancy fee, and we assume that 35% of the new graduates will take our services. So for the first year, the income will be around $520,000, and the expenses would be roughly $340,000. And in this way, the EBITDA will be roughly $180,000. So this is the brief introduction about our proposal and market analysis. If you have any questions or otherwise, you are more than welcome to deliver. Thank you.
Okay, just got in there. Well done. Who has a question for Savvy Me? Michael, I see you're talking. Do you want to unmute yourself and ask your question?
Sometimes. This applies to many of the teams today. It really helps. I think one of the guys actually told us who the team was in your domain knowledge, which is really helpful to help us understand a little bit more background. I have one question. So you're curating all this content, and I know it's a very important problem that you're trying to solve, but so far I haven't seen the magic yet. I mean, there's nothing that would prevent me from saying going to Google and downloading a bunch of courseware about different things that I might find interesting, right? About financial planning, for example. How do you differentiate yourself?
So
I mean, you're asking people to pay for it, right?
Yeah, I'd like to take that question. What Google does is that usually those advertisements, when you search on Google that I want some financial advice, the paid advertisements come first in your search engine.
Yeah.
So you don't know what kind of experts are there. Is it credible enough? But on our app, we have our own experts from Deutsche Bank and from Bank of New York, with having a huge experience behind them. So that is how we deal with the credibility, and that is how we are ahead of the other market.
So it's unique content is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, another question, Tony?
Yeah, sure. Look, thanks. It's a great idea, but I suppose what I'd love to see you do carrying it forward is really articulate who is that human being with that really difficult problem that you want to really address. So for example, you talked about earlier in the deck, you talked about solving for self-confidence, for job interviews, for networking, and for personal finances. But it's instructive that as you went through the prototype, you narrowed down into finances, because every one of those is an enormous niche, an enormous market. And you either, similar to the first team, you either go broad and deliver very little value, or you solve a really salient problem that people will pay for, right?
Yeah.
So I would just encourage you to think about that going forward.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I think that's about all the time we have. So well done. Michael, okay, jump in, quick question.
Have you watched the movie, the documentary, The Ivory Tower? Because there's an opportunity here for people going to college too who need the same value, and you're at least in the U.S. the debt burden is overwhelming now. It makes you wonder whether you go to college or not. So there's the finance to what's the cost return, where's the cost benefit for this sort of thing, and setting expectations would be a really good thing. I think what you're talking about is very helpful, but also for high school students too.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Fantastic. Well done, Savvy Me. We only have one group left. So as I ask Savvy Me to head back out and become attendees of this webinar, I'm going to invite to the stage a Transient. If Transient could please come to the stage, that would be wonderful. This is our last group. Just to let you know what's going to happen after this, we are going to take the judges into another Zoom room. So this will stay open as a webinar just for a couple of minutes while we take the judges into a private Zoom room for some deliberations. Once we have a winner, we will come straight back and we will do an announcement straight away. So to our judges, I will be putting a link in the chat, you'll be able to see, and you'll be able to click through into a private room, and then we will come back and announce all of the winners. So after this, we will go straight into that other room. But right now, I do see that we have Transient coming to the stage. Walter, Eshita, Joba, Helena, excellent, you're all here. Oh, final group, we did it, we did it. All right, let's do this. Who would like to share their screen, and then we can start to get moving. Thank you, Walter.
I will share here.
And if I can have a thumbs up from the judges, excellent. And when you're ready, Walter, just give me a thumbs up as well.
Let's do it.
All right, over to you. In 3, 2, 1, go.
So hello, judges. Thank you for being here. I know we've seen a lot of pitches, and I think it's nice to just take a moment and take a breath. This is Vasily Kandinsky, and he's quoted as saying, "Color is a power that directly influences the soul." On our team, we agree, and we're searching for a connection between color, your soul, and music. So our log line, we use biometric wearables and AI to extend our sensory relationship with music. We have 2 fundamental claims. One is that music is equivalent to light, and that we can use artificial intelligence to find this functional mapping. The second claim is that you, in fact, are equivalent to light. When we ask people what is the color of their soul, it's surprising how many can come up with a very distinct and specific color. If my color is light purple, and that's how we chose the background for this pitch deck. But we think that AI can help you enhance this expression of yourself through light at live music performances. So what are the steps to creating our product? Well, the first is to build the AI that converts music into light and into color. And after we do that, we're going to create 2 products that are both in some emerging markets. One is the Coil, which is a vibrating biometric light up wristband or bracelet. And the second is the Lava Lamp, an in-home smart lighting system that reacts to music interactively. Step 3 is to create the reactor, but we'll get to that later. And why is now the right time? Well, there are technological revolutions taking place right now: Internet of Things, 5G, interconnectivity, AI, and ML. All of these things have primed us for this type of development. And there's a new zeitgeist, a new culture that wish to see this type of innovation. Let's get technical. Eshita?
Yes, so the first thing that we're trying to achieve is transforming music into light. So to do this, we will use audio sensors that will be placed in the bracelet, and this sensor will then listen to the audio, and there will be a continuous AI script running, which will convert this audio into a wave format, extracting features like frequency, wavelength, and note of the audio. These features then will be used to convert music into light. The second feature that we're trying to capture is the user selection. So we have 2 options: either let AI manage your light, or you can select your own light. And the third and the final feature that we're trying to capture is the LED biometric sensors, which will capture your heart rate, blood oxygen level, and you can also add your manual body features like height, weight, which will help our AI model to further give better song suggestions for you.
We conducted a market research survey and asked prospective users what they thought of the idea. We got a total of 100 responses from people aged 16 to 23. As you can see on the chart we have here, it shows that the first 2 market in the research slides, many people enjoy live music events. A good majority of prospective users are comfortable with a wearable that collects biometric data to share with a live music venue. They are also okay with the wearables emanating lights that matches the mood and vibrates according to the BPM of songs being played. Majority of prospective users express a preference for a wearable in form of accessories like necklace, rings, and earrings. Prospective users are willing to spend an average of $800 on our products. We got positive and suggestive feedback from participants telling us what they like to see and asking us about how the data we collect will be used afterwards.
Our AI lives at the heart of 3 exciting markets, like music, smart lighting, and wearable technology. As we can see, the smart lighting industry is a high potential market, which indicates a CAGR of 18%. The global events industry size is shown as continuously grows, with a CAGR of 10.3%. Also, studies suggest that significant growth will occur in the wearable market, with a CAGR of 16.2%.
I'm sorry, all of this brings us to the concept of the reactor. We envision it as a global traveling musical and lights experience. You can see here, this is from Burning Man, but there's a central pillar of light that unifies everything. And the humans are expressed in light as well. Having that physical form is a later iteration, but in the meantime, we can have a website that keeps these types of things and links to the other products, the coil and the lava lamp. I want you to imagine what that experience would be like, being reduced into light and interacting with everyone synchronously. Vibration, energy, it would be a cool experience. We have a number of prospects, but in interest of time, I want to move on to our ask. We will build something beautiful and something spectacular.
Our ask is simple. We want capital to hire developers and manufacture the coil and lava lamp. We are also looking for partners, mentors, and connections and leads. And on top of all of that, we would like to talk a bit about the team. So we are a team of passionate, diverse individuals coming from all backgrounds of computer science, mechanical engineering, marketing, and myself in artificial intelligence.
5 minutes. Well done. And to get it to 5 minutes from how long it was not too long ago is an absolutely momentous effort. So absolutely well done. I'm sure there's lots of questions here from the judges. Tony, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah, sure. Great presentation, team. Very, very inventive. I suppose if I could just summarize what I think I've heard is that if I'm wearing something around my wrist, I walk into my apartment and I'm playing something on Spotify, there's a lava lamp in the corner that's going to change color based on what's playing through in the ambient sound in my apartment. Is that what you're saying?
That's correct.
100%.
It can create ambient lighting that will match the ambience of the music itself.
The same lighting would also be on your bracelet.
That's okay. We don't have time for the long-winded questions or answers. How did you come up with this idea? That's my only question.
Wow. I like to think of myself as a reduction to light oftentimes. I think it's a kind of a beautiful way to live your life. There's a lot to be communicated in a color, and it helps you interact with the world in a certain way.
Why I like HEX programs, because we blend so many different backgrounds of humans and we end up with really unexpected solutions. So, I mean, straight away, from a marketing perspective, I can see a very cool application in terms of like, this could be a great candidate for crowdfunding, could be a good candidate for COVID remote events. So you can light up your living room in whatever color your performer wants it to light up in. So look, I can see huge market potential and nicely pitched, team. My question probably is, you know, how much you actually sort of, when you're looking to raise that capital, would you actually go out as a team to angels, or how would you sort of look to get the capital to take this to the next level? Because it sounds like you've done some validation for it, and
yes, last 2 days we spent on validating that can we actually convert music into light, and last night we had a breakthrough where we did end up converting audio into waveform, and then by using some scientific method we converted the music into light. So we have a proof of concept. And we did do a research on how much the sensors are going to cost. So we came up with the bracelet costing less than $10 US and the lava lamp after our sensors and technology costing less than $50. So the costing and everything is ready. It's just maybe hiring some professionals who can take it to the commercial production level. So, and instead of funding, we're actually open to both types of funding, either crowdfunding or just if somebody who is in that background, who's passionate about music and wants to collaborate with us. Yeah.
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is put you, sorry, go on, Walter.
Yeah, I think it's really important in this case to wait for the right investor. And I think it should be a very personal relationship, because if the intentions aren't aligned, then I don't think the project will succeed. So we'd like to be patient enough to have pure growth, if that makes sense.
Well, the first thing I want to do is connect you with a previous HEX participant called Joel Meredith. He's working on a device called Mellow Ring, which physically throws music to share it with friends. So it's a wearable device, all about sharing and throwing music between mates. So I'll connect you to him. He's a product developer and designer as well in Sydney.
Great.
But well done, guys.
Thank you.
Sorry, Mike, did you have anything final, or Jack, did you want to wrap us up?
I know. I think it's time to wrap us up and get our judges into another room so that we can do some deliberation and figure out who is the winning team of HEX 5.2. So well done, everyone. Okay, judges, now that I have you here, if you could just have a look in the chat, I will be posting a link to another Zoom room. Please click across to this Zoom room and I will meet you there so we can have a look to see how the scores are looking. So panelists, if you could jump across into the other Zoom room, everyone else head back into attendees. For all of you watching, just stay here. I will be putting a holding slide with a little bit of music on so you can just chill out for a couple of minutes and we'll be back in this room to announce the winners. Okay, I will see you soon.
好了，谢谢大家看。哇，你这样子吧。到。Hello。Hello.
Okay, everyone, who is ready to hear from our judges? While we just let them back into the room, I know it was a very tough deliberation session, such different groups with different ideas coming to the forefront here today. So we absolutely love the diversity of thought in all of these different ideas that we've heard of today. So while the judges are coming back in, I just want to reiterate a massive congratulations to all of our new Hexies who are now officially part of the Hexie family. I'd also like to take the opportunity to thank you all for spending the last week with us. I know it was incredibly tough to go from a new year to straight into it with a sprint, but the fact that you've developed businesses and networks and connections with people from all over the globe is absolutely amazing already in 2021. So well done. I just want you to pat yourself on the back. It's been an absolutely huge week. I want to say a huge thank you to the HEX team for being here and supporting and running around the background. Maddie Kwong, I know you're there. Thank you so much for all of the adding and taking people out and doing all the stage management that's required to pull something like this off. And our newest member, Luke, is here too. So I just want to say a huge thank you for all of the support that he's given us over the last week. But really, it's all about congratulating the newest Hexies 5.2. And without further ado, we might head over to the judges to talk about who the winning team might be. So Jeanette, can I throw to you, please, so you can talk about
Absolutely. Jack, you and the crew have done a phenomenal job. So before we get into the team congratulations, Matt and Luke and Ritika, can you all put your cameras on so we can give you a bit of a round of applause? You know, team, these guys have worked day and night. They've been up late as you have been as well. They've been preparing for months. I'm just so proud of this team and so grateful to be surrounded with smart and clever and lovely humans. So thank you, Jack. Thank you, Matt. Luke, I can see you're being camera shy. That's okay. And Ritika, thanks for being here today as well. And Chris, I know you're hovering in the background somewhere. So thank you to the HEX crew. And Tony and Mike, gentlemen, thank you very much for your brains and your insights and your support of this next generation of innovators. So grateful to have friends like you in our lives. Okay, we are going to go through super quick and do a very, a bit of a, it was hard for us to judge the winners because it was so diverse, but we've got something to say about each and every team. And so I'm going to firstly throw to Mike to say a couple of words about Selco and the nutrition app. So Mike, what would you like to share about your thoughts on Selco?
For that, I'd like to just share that for those that aren't familiar, I taught a final thesis in an MBA program in design strategy for 4 years. So I see a lot of initiatives, and you guys have done a miraculous job in a week and having just met. So I applaud all of you for that, first of all. I think that this particular team is looking to solve a real problem. I don't think it's restricted to just New Zealand, but it's an awareness exercise. And if you can solve the problem of how you can earn people's credibility or illustrate people's the information that it being credible, that's a phenomenal thing, and it can help a lot of people. So
thank you. And Tony, over to you to have a say a word or two about Savvy Me, the How to Adult in Finance app. What are your thoughts on Savvy Me?
Oh yeah, that was Savvy Me did a great presentation. Clearly there's a use for that. And I think huge market. So if you can refine that value proposition, then I think you have legs to carry that forward.
Thanks, Tony. Mike, you had some thoughts on UniHealth, the record keeping for medical folk.
Yeah, I think it's actually I'm a world traveler, so I was just in Tassie in November, and that's a very real problem. I don't know what it's going to be post-COVID, but I think that when you deal with people traveling and trying to communicate, it's a very hard thing. So I think if you can figure out what it means in a post-COVID world, that because, for example, as an American, I can't travel. We're being ghosted. So that's a very different exercise now. But how do you deal with that? I really wish you well on that. I think there's definitely a pearl in there somewhere.
Thank you. Now, Tony, you had some big thoughts on Transient. What would you like to share about the smart lighting crew?
Oh yeah, look, I think out of all the ideas, that was perhaps the most genuinely unique, and I think I can see the huge consumer market for that. So I was an advocate for that in the judges' room, and well done.
Absolutely. Now, I wanted to say a couple of words about Study Buddy. Being from the EdTech space, we absolutely see the impact that COVID's had on students, and I think that this is an area of challenge that's going to continue to reveal itself in the next year or so, as sort of the dust starts to settle. So, genuine, advocate there for supporting study and helping people find new ways to connect and make friends, and this social interaction is so crucial, particularly when you're just sitting at a screen all day. So well done, Study Buddy, for identifying something really great, and loved your branding as well in your prototype. And Yeet, wanted to very much tell you, love the fact that you combined millennials' love of dining out with a social impact mission. I think your user interface design was fun, and your presentation and energy was really next level. So well done to those teams as well. You may, smart people might have noticed we haven't yet mentioned Aviva, and Tony, would you like to talk a little bit about Aviva?
Yeah, look, with Aviva, we thought that, well, so I mean, VR is just a huge and growing space in the tertiary education sector, and we really felt that you have identified that really acute pain point where you genuinely are adding value through that particular use of technology. And so I think, as Jeanette said, by process of elimination, Aviva is the only one we haven't mentioned yet. So Aviva was the one who took out the prize this time.
So congratulations to Aviva. Very proud of the work you guys have done, and a clear presentation, a clear problem, something that I think we identified with from both a personal, perspective from seeing the impact to our healthcare workers, as well as a technology and market perspective of understanding that changes to education are imminent, and there's a big market, lots of money in there as well. So well done to the Aviva team. But genuinely, I just have to say, guys, there was barely anything in it. We were literally voting for all of you. Each of us had a preference for each of the different teams. So, barely anything in it. So proud of each of you. And I can see clearly ways that HEX and the judges can all connect you with people to take your ideas from where they are today to the next level. So Annie and Debbie, round of applause.
Well done.
Well done, ladies.
You want to do a group photo for everybody?
Sure. With the winning team?
Yes,
well, the whole thing, the whole
team. Annie, Debbie's here. Let's take a group photo.
We'll do the winners first, and then we'll see if we can promote. I don't know if we can promote everybody, but that might just be no. Okay.
I can hear Matt screaming in the background, even though he's so I'm going to say no to that.
Okay.
But we've got the winning team here, so we'll take a photo of the winners in 3, 2, 1.
Awesome. Beautiful. Congratulations, team. Did you want to say anything at all?
I must say that it's a huge surprise because we didn't manage to deliver all the things we wanted to say in 5 minutes. And thanks for the judges for the recognition. And this idea is actually something that I'm pursuing in the real life. And that's the reason why I'm participating in this program, because I want to make it come true. And thanks for all your help and valuable insights, all the suggestions. It's really helpful. And hopefully this will come true, that Aviva is the 5-letter keyword that you guys will mention next year.
We can all say we were there at the start and we knew you back when. So yeah, well, each of you, I just want to say massive congratulations. Mike and Tony, we've taken up way too much of your time today, particularly Tony on a Saturday, Mike on your Friday night. So Jack, shall we let our gentlemen judges
I think so. I think, Debbie, did you want to quickly just give a wave or say anything?
I just want to thank Annie, because it was a great opportunity to work with someone with a genuine idea, and I was quite disappointed that we didn't get through the whole presentation. So I'm super surprised and just delighted. So thank you, and big kudos to Annie. We're behind you at HEX, and if there's anything you need, I'd love to work with you. So well done.
Fantastic.
Congratulations, team.
And that's what HEX is all about, connecting people. So we have Annie over in Canada, Debbie's based in Melbourne, I'm currently in Melbourne, Michael's in the Bay Area. Matthew just seems to float around the ether of space most of the time, but we are from all over the world, and we have come together. Most of, all of our students have not met each other. It's been 1 week that we've got this off the ground, all the way from ideation to pitching. So I just want to say a huge congratulations to HEX5.2. If you all want to come back into our classroom for a bit of a celebration, grab a drink, grab a coffee, who knows what time it is where you are in the world right now, but come back to the Zoom room and we'll have a chat. To everyone watching, I just want to say thank you so much for supporting us. To our wonderful judges, Tony, Michael, Jeanette, we love you, couldn't do this without you. To the HEX team, all of our mentors that have come in to help us over the last week, we really appreciate you giving up your time, especially this early in the year. So that's a wrap. That is HEX 5.2. Congratulations, everyone.
Play us out, Matt. He's like, oh God.
See you guys later.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. Bye,
Thank
Mike.
you, everyone. If you want to find out more about the Hacker Exchange, let us know. Come and get in contact.